GSL. Welcome to GSL Daybreak.
In the bottom left, with a sick timing, taking out JYP, we have one of the best Terran players that there has ever been. His ideas?
AGIM MVP.
And in the upper right, we have our Protoss player. His PDT has massively improved, but this may be the biggest challenge of an opponent to defeat yet. He is
JYP Lady Core.
You know, we're sitting in these chairs, Artos, and I'm hearing about pinched nerve and MVP's back, and I'm like getting stressed out.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, my posture's not good when I do this.
No, it's not.
What we need to do is have like chairs that sink us.
We need to sit on yoga balls while we cast.
That would be so funny.
Yeah.
I tried sitting on a yoga ball actually for a while in front of my computer.
Yeah.
You know, it actually did not help me. I just found myself slouching on a yoga ball. Like I would start out, sit up straight, and then I'd be trying to play a game or something, and then I'm like,
no, you can't play games unless you're sitting in a chair.
No, yeah, you absolutely can't play games. And my mother, back when I was in high school, she bought one of these ergonomic chairs where it's like you sit on your, well, you're sitting on your butt, but it's like at a slant, and then there's another thing that you push your knees into.
Yeah.
And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen those.
I've seen that. Things. That does not work either. That I just found myself hunching again in a more painful position.
Now I'm going to stick with chairs.
I actually posted on Twitter. There's an article now. It was on BBC. It says that sitting up straight in chairs is not actually that good for you. What's actually good for you is to recline slightly.
Sick.
Yeah.
I recline slightly.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, apparently. If you can recline slightly and you have everything at the right height, then your back's going to be in much better shape. Standing up straight is very good for you, too, but yeah.
Well, Dr. Tasteless.
Dr. Tasteless over here.
That's right.
PhD and nerd.
All right, Tasteless.
All right, Tosis.
JYP once again has scouted a fast gas by MVP, but this time MVP canceled that gas and made a command center.
Is he trying to hide the Zealot?
Is he?
Yeah, he just sent it to this weird location, the bottom left.
Yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it?
Because you would think that obviously he would know that the Zealot...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Of course. I think I actually just rallied it wrong, to be honest.
Okay.
That it just makes no sense to hide it right there. But just
eBay is going to get pretty far along.
Yeah, man. When the Zealot's already so far gone, and actually...
Oh my God, he's going to find out so late. Now the SCV's chasing, or the Stalker's chasing the SCV, rather.
You know,
I think JYP might have to expand somewhere else.
Well, yeah, he might take that third base location. That's definitely a possibility.
Although I feel like he could probably lose if that happens too.
And he's actually just going to add his gates first. So he might put on some pressure and stuff like that, but... I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do to try to make this not as bad as it looks. But his Zealot's like across the map. It's too bad his Zealot isn't over here.
Oh, I see he's going to come in there. Is he going to go to the right? No.
All right,
we'll not see that.
He doesn't really see all that much more, but... MVP's mind games so far are really doing a great job. I mean, he's got that eBay up to high health. This is really delaying the hell out of JYP's expansion. JYP thinks he's teching. He's not. He's playing very normal. MVP, it seems like whenever he's in the worst shape, he comes out with the most creative stuff because he realizes he's not just going to steamroll like he normally does. And what a tip-top player to be able to do
I mean,
things
this
like
is, you know, this is why he has the best builds in the best possible order.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hands down, he is the guy for that.
Yeah.
I think we've seen some of that with Seed. But I would say even more so than MVP or MC or an ST, MVP absolutely elects the best possible order of builds.
Yeah.
He is most likely to win in a best of 5 or a best of 7.
I guess you have to say that, man. Absolutely. He's won the most, right? So.
Right.
If it wasn't for MC living on a plane, no one would be ahead of him as far as money.
That's exactly. This is very true.
All right, well, that was a really good scout, actually, by JYP. He just got to see a whole lot behind the natural. Look at that. Saw the command center, saw how many Marines are out. I think he pretty much gets it now. He's like, all right, it looks like this was another kind of a sneaky thing. Little sneak out.
Snake.
Yeah. Now, some Marines are actually going down towards this pylon. He has a lot of units down here. If he can kill those Marines off,
yeah, he
might be able to do a little bit of damage. And he's warping 3 more Stalkers. You know what? He has 3 Zealots, 3 Sentries, and 5 Stalkers. This is a really good amount of units.
Going to have to pull SCVs like now.
Yeah, he is. And he's going to lose them. He's going to lose a lot of SCVs if that's what JYP wants to go for.
Looks like JYP is a little bit hesitant here.
Yeah, looks like he does just want to kill off SCVs with this. And this is a nice little way for him to try to come back after being delayed so much with that eBay.
Yeah, those SCVs, even though he's not getting there, guys, and doing the damage, the SCVs aren't mining, so that's lost mining time.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's only killed 3. I thought he was definitely going to get more than that. I think he could have committed a little bit more heavily with a couple force fields and like trapped a couple more SCVs out there to actually kill. But you know, as is, he did all right with that. He hasn't lost anything at least.
Oh, he's going for it again.
Interesting.
I don't know if this is going to break him.
Well, he has a Guardian Shield plus a lot of Stalkers. He's picking up a lot of units here.
All right, he's taking out the... Oh, he's not taking out these sentries, actually.
Well, I'm surprised
2 sentries that almost died and then were microed back.
Yeah, he's actually in good shape now. He's killed off 9 SCVs. He's killed off a lot of Marines.
He's actually going to try to go in here again.
And look at this.
No way. Not enough force fields.
Yeah.
Actually, no force fields, to be precise.
When you have no force fields, you got to be really careful about things like this. Now, in the meantime, at home, JYP going for Twilight Council, also getting that +1 armor. Wouldn't be surprised to see Blink before charge just because of how many Stalkers he has. But he's done a really good job so far. Look at this. He continues.
The stim's done, so he's got to be careful. Actually, both sides have to be careful because if you over-stim, you're just losing the hit points, especially if you're not dealing the damage back. I think that's going to be the end of it for JYP. He should go home.
Yeah, he certainly should. I mean, this far into the game, we're up at 10 minutes now. The fact that he's still over there, it gets scary. So to go home is the right call here. And he's actually going to go charge first. So he's just going for that brute power of the charge. And I'm sure that we'll see a Templar Archives pretty soon as well.
And we have more gateways coming up over here. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to be powering. There's no forge, correct, Artos?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is a forge, excuse me. It's just second game in a row. I'm like, is there a forge? Like, no. Yes, there's a forge.
All right, so...
Well, I don't feel like MVP was too badly bruised by that attack.
You know, it was hurtful, but yeah.
I really wish MVP had targeted down those sentries. There was one specifically that was in the red, the Guardian Shield one. He could have taken that out.
Well, you know, right now I would say JYP, he's in a good spot. He's got 52 probes to just 38 SCVs. His army's pretty decent. As far as the gateway count goes, he's going up to 7. So that's, I mean, that might just be 7 for now and 8 later on, but I think he's just going for that expansion off of 7 gates, charge, and storm. And that's like super safe. There's no way MVP is going to break him.
Yeah. Looks like we could have the third base pretty soon here, too.
Yeah, I think so.
Some pylons down there in a probe.
Well, you know, this is... MVP has to be careful. If he overcommits on the other side of the map against someone who has charge with this tiny amount of units that he has, even though, I mean, it's not really tiny, but against someone with 7 gates charge who already did a lot of damage to you, it's going to feel tiny.
Well, the other thing is that if he tries to run away, the Zealots are going to hit him on the low ground. If he tries to pick up the Stalkers, have a high chance of shooting down the medevacs. So, yeah, you're right. He really is in a pretty dangerous location here.
That's right. But if he can do some good micro before Storm is out, he can still get some damage.
Oh, that looks like he's going to drop into the main here.
A little death drop.
Now, there's not that much on the left side of JYP's base, but... You know, he could get the Nexus or something else like that.
Uh-oh. These are all going to load. And this is bad news. Storm is about to finish. He had no High Templars up here to try for feedback or anything. So now he just has to rally his units in. He has enough to clean it, but this is a lot of damage.
Yeah, and he actually can pick up when he finally really starts to feel the heat.
He's going to have to be careful because we do have High Templars here. Beautiful size Storms. And it looks like he's just going to kill everything off.
Yep, looks like he just goes in and tries to back into those medevacs. Not quick enough.
Now, MVP has really closed up that gap from that. He's at 46 SCVs against just 53 probes now. And that was a good drop. that was pretty successful, I'd say. Even though he ended up losing quite a bit.
As you can see, MVP, one of these guys, pretty confident on the map no matter what. He's going to have to be careful. He's moving more of his army out here. But I feel like if JYP wants to, he can actually smash all that. Know that JYP probably hoping that he could get to the third base here for MVP. It's not even set up yet, and instead it's going to hit the SCVs over here, punishing MVP for having reinforcements out on the middle of the map.
And look at that. He's going to come in here. Not really going to do a lot of damage, I don't think, because... Oh, wait. We do have a drop in the main base at the same time.
Whoa, that was startling.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually doing a lot of damage right now. He's hitting so hard at 2 locations. He is retreating, but not really losing that much over here. And now melting these zealots as more warped in.
And he will definitely kill this army off if it does stay to fight him. Nice force field.
Yeah,
really nice
box those Marauders in there.
Yeah, but that drop in the main did do some significant damage. And at this point, I mean, the probe count is staying pretty much the same. He does not have the probe saturation that he wants right now.
All right, once again, stimming and running away. MVP just seems to be mechanically a little bit better than JYP. You can see here, winning every little skirmish.
You know, he is getting that ghost tech, and the robo just starting for JYP. So Colossi are quite a ways off. And if MVP actually moves out with a decent amount of ghosts, let's say he has 3, maybe 4 ghosts, moves across the map, and actually gets some decent EMPs off, I mean, he's going to be in great shape. He already has 7 medevacs, so he can micro for days against charge lots. And you know, JYP doesn't even have Blink to try to chase things down with Stalkers.
You know, drops are so strong against this style of play because observers haven't been out the entire time. So there's, I mean, you can plant pylons that we saw out there to spot. You can warp in with them too, but then you just lose the pylon. You know, they can mess up with your supply here.
We do have a little drop going into the main base, but it's like, it's a drop just to keep JYP on his toes, basically. That's not meant to even do damage, really. A Marine and a Marauder. I mean, those are scary tasteless, but...
They're pretty good, but I think he'll be all right. Uh-oh. He can storm pretty hard here.
High Templar's just chilling. Oh, it doesn't get a single drop, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah, it does some decent damage to some of those units.
All right, I know he's branching out his High Templar. Somebody get into an angle here where MVP's screen might not be. For instance, trying to come up here from behind. Oh, he turns around. That's surprising.
And JYP actually sending too many units to deal with that. He's got to be careful about things like this because now MVP's going around to his 3rd base.
All right, a storm here, but actually not that effective.
Yeah, MVP with a very nice split indeed.
Oh, fortunate to cancel there.
Yeah, at the very last second as well. Now
he might target down the Nexus here. Nope. Too careful is MVP. Oh, wow. MVP with a
storm
pretty...
flank. Misses actually with that last storm. That could have been deadly if he laid it way behind.
He was dodging really well back there.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed.
Yeah, MVP's doing a great job.
He can still target down this Nexus. I mean, if he just kites well enough.
His units are so deep red right now. He's got to be careful.
He can't even really stem right now. His units are so red down there. So the MVP continuing to mass up while he's doing this. He may come in here with that ghost again and try to go for a storm.
And in fact, you know, he has a lot of ghosts right now. He has 5 down there. So once he heals up and rallies in some more units, he's going to be pretty scary to deal with. We have, let me see here. We really don't have a lot of High Templars sitting around with storm energy.
Cloak is almost done too, so that's when the abuse is really going to kick up here. Where's his only observer?
I'm looking for it. I think it's off. I think it's off scouting somewhere.
Nice feedback there.
Some good EMPs going off. The Ghost taking the brunt of the damage in the front. Nice side.
I love what JYP's doing, coming in from behind over here.
Yeah, that's really well done.
Now that attack right there might have been the one attack where MVP way overextended. Besides that drop at the start of this game.
I'm gonna have to agree that that was maybe a little bit of an overextension there. He lost 5 ghosts. Did he really do enough damage for that? I'm not so certain. We do have some light harassment here by JYP, killing off as many SCVs as he can. They've both killed a lot right now. MVP's killed 26 probes, while JYP's killed 24 SCVs.
This has definitely been a slugfest of a game here.
Yeah, certainly. But, you know, MVP does have his 3rd base up. His economy's looking very, very strong, even though he did lose quite a few SCVs in that last one.
Now, it's kind of funny they both picked different locations to take their 3rds.
I actually really like this for this matchup for MVP to take that base. He's gonna, it's gonna be a little bit easier for him to move out.
Does JYP actually know about that, or does he?
Yeah, he knows.
Okay, he knows for sure. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, because he sees the gas guys are there. All right.
There's a little bit more harassment going on. It's just going to draw his units back. And at the same time, JYP's moving towards the third base of MVP out in the middle.
This could be bad for MVP. I don't see any ways to be able to keep this
Yeah.
orbital alive.
He might be able to get a snipe off here. We will see. The unit's running down now, but there's a lot of Storms, Archons, and Colossi here. Some really good EMPs going off, but look at that.
Storms are just melting this.
Yeah, really well done. We do have the Ghost Cloak, and I don't see an Observer here, so he is going to have to back up for sure.
All right. Yeah, a lot of Ghosts here. He could target down the Colossi with ease.
And there you go. Finally decides to target those down. Oh, and no, it's an uncloaked Ghost. Never mind.
Get back here. Oh, wow. Is this Colossus going to get away?
Yeah, looks like he will. A little bit inattentive there by MVP, and GG.
Yeah, I figured MVP was probably going to tap out.
Yeah, too much damage there. That was a slugfest, Tasis. You said it best there. Not much else to say about that one.
Well, JYP went for an unorthodox opening of getting the Robo Bay very late after the third base.
Yeah.
Which is scary because you are playing in the dark, but
you are indeed.
At the same time,
some of the drops were pretty scary. I mean, MVP did some nice moves that got him into nice spots. But at the end of the day, man, he lost a lot of SCVs. Some of those little harassment moves by JYP were good, and he held on enough to use his early advantage from that 3-gate to parlay it into a victory.
Well, we're going to be going to game number 3, which means we're going to go on the map MVP wants to play on, Entombed Valley.
Not a bad choice. This is a hard map to take a third on, and of course we did see JYP with some very close PVTs on this map in the last round, and so I think that this
is also a map where there's more builds you can do than some of the other maps.
It certainly is. You can definitely do 1-1-1s and the like. You can do micro builds, but I feel like he's going to look at this and say, all right, you know what? JYP played very well. He gave up a lot of nexuses, but he had to give up those nexuses. And I think that MVP is going to look at those games and say, you know what, I know how to win if he's down to 2 Nexus against 4 command centers like we saw in the last time.
MVP, he's one of these guys, I think he wins so much off of engagements, a lot like Marine King. He wins a lot more with his builds, but his micro's quite good. I think he didn't realize he was engaged in a situation where actually the Protoss had considerably more. Attacking that third base and Protoss at Storm is basically not a good idea. Again, MVP with a pinched nerve in his neck, I believe, causing some wrist problems. So ideally, MVP would want to win this 2-0. I guess anybody would want to win 2-0, but for this case, as far as physical pain goes,
yeah,
definitely want to win that.
Certainly. He wants to get out of this group in first because otherwise he has to play a lot more games. It's going to take him a lot longer, and that's just not comfortable.
Well, looks like we're almost ready. So we're about to finish up the first best of 3 here between MVP and JYP. Both players with 3 names.
Yeah.
Different letters, battle of the alphabet here at the GSL.
And look, their names are very similar too. Both N and P. Letters from the tail end of the alphabet in the middle, and then letters near the center at the front.
Yes. Truly a very close match.
If you threw darts at a dartboard to spell MVP, and you weren't the best dart thrower in the whole world, you might spell JYP.
You could. You absolutely could. All right. It's time, guys. The battle between the players who each have 3 letters for their name. MVP and JYP. This is alphabet soup here. Right, Artosis? He laughed at that one, but he had coffee in his mouth. All right, guys. Let's go. This is the GSL.